Hello YouTube. Well, my internet's out, so I'm making a video. This is my second one for, it's mainly aimed towards my blank slate body recomposition group. And one of the things we were always talking about is nutrition and dietary practices, and the whole notion of going on a diet obviously came into my mind as I was sitting here waiting for my internet to reconnect, which it just did. But I'm going to continue because this is a much needed video that everyone needs to hear, because you should never tell someone you're on a diet. Ever. Don't ever say that to anybody. No, don't do it. Don't even tell yourself that you're on a diet, because if you're looking at the family unit as a group, and everyone's, unless you live alone, which we'll get back to the don't tell yourself we're on a diet thing. Unless you live alone, you live with other human beings, and they all have feelings and thoughts and emotions and subconscious desires, or whatever you will, usually to gain approval from you or from other people in the family. And one of the ways that people gain approval is by doing people favors and making them nice things to eat and plying them with food, or it could be any typical family behaviors like that. So the other thing is, a lot of people aren't that happy inside, whether or not they're projecting it outward or not, and they would like you to join in with their unhappiness or with their feelings of inadequacy or whatever it is, and therefore you'll get shaming, and that can come in many forms. It's like, oh, what do you need to do that diet for? You're good just how you are. But there's this little thing in the background that they're doing there, and little things that they'll poke you with, and it can be very detrimental to your path and your journey towards being the best you that you can be, especially physically and with what you eat. So a typical one that I'll definitely say is, and I'm not pointing this at you, Mom. This is a typical mom behavior, because I've worked with hundreds of people, and a lot of times people will come in and it's just them by themselves, and it's never with family members. And one of the things they always say is, it's like, well, what about when I go to the family get-together, or at family dinner, and Aunt Judy's over and she brought her favorite pie and they offer it to you, and I feel bad because I can't, and I tell them that I'm on a diet, and then they're like, oh, you don't need to do it, it's okay, just once won't hurt. Ever heard that one before? Oh, that one won't hurt. But actually, if you're a metabolically damaged person, which many people, if not 99.9% of North American society is, they're metabolically damaged through the overconsumption of mass-produced, boxed, packaged foods that's full of sugars and additives, then you can't get away with the behavior that a younger person could get away with. And even the young ones now are not safe from that, because we got people that have diabetes that are like 5 years old, and it's not type 1. Okay? It was their parents gave them diabetes by feeding them all the crap that they eat. And the other so I'm getting off topic, which I tend to do a lot, so bear with me. I will be getting better at this as we go along. As somebody that has a background and a little bit of experience with addiction, it's the same, along the same vein. You don't say to an alcoholic, just have one, it'll be okay, because it won't. It'll end up being 20 drinks and in the gutter. It's the same with diet and nutrition. When a family member says to you, oh, it's okay, just this once, it is not okay. And you get that little feeling in your gut that it's not okay, listen to that feeling. You got to listen to your own gut, not what other people are telling you. When your gut tells you that you shouldn't do it, then it's probably right. Because, by the way, your gut is like, they have estimated that the intelligence of that thing is about the same as like a nice big tabby cat that you have. They're really smart, okay, and very instinctual. And that's kind of what your gut does for you. It lets you know when there's something wrong. So You got to learn not to tell people that you're on a diet. You have to learn what people in addiction would say to somebody that's trying to persuade them to go to the bar. You got to have these little kind of white lies that you tell other people. You'd say, I have an allergy to that, or that doesn't agree with me, or my coach told me that for the next however much period of time, that anytime anyone offers me something, even though I really appreciate that you made that for me specifically, that special thing, because I know that you love me. You see where I'm going with this? You have to have an escape route that you can go down mentally and then action it with people that are friends and family, because they are always the biggest saboteurs of your journey to your own personal state of well-being and feeling great about yourself every single day, which can definitely be associated to even the little things that you do. So that's one major reason why you should never, ever tell people that you're on a diet. And now we'll get to the next part. Don't tell yourself that you're on a diet. You're leaving the back door open already. You are giving yourself an excuse to fall off the wagon. But if you are saying to yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror, I am doing the best that I can every single day to improve my dietary practices on an ongoing basis from now on and forever, that's a good thing to say. That's the kind of stuff that you can tell people when you're beginning on a new way of eating and living joyfully. It's a way different concept. Diets don't work. That's a very well-known, it's a meme now all over Facebook. All these new words, memes and all the other stuff. Something that is just very common to see, because they don't. Because if you have said to yourself you're on a diet, then inevitably you've also let yourself know in the back of your head, it's coming, that you're eventually going to be off that diet. As soon as the first little bit of anxiety or something happens with your family, or it could be any number of reasons. The lists I've heard, if I listed them all, it's like never ending. Now that gets onto another little topic that I'll segue into here. And that's having a sophisticated alibi system, or SAS. The smarter you are and the more intelligent you are, and I'm not saying that those that don't have a SAS are dumb, because they're not, but the more quickly your brain functions in learning how to come up with excuses, which are sophisticated alibi systems about why you can't do something, then the more likely you are that you're going to fail at whatever you're going to do. So you basically have to humble yourself to make change happen. You have to surrender to succeed. Surrender to succeed. And every time that you make up an excuse, you're actually resisting. You're not surrendering. You're not giving into a life of joy and prosperity, or whatever it is that you're looking for. And specifically with diet and nutrition, if you're coming up with all these different excuses, I don't have time, that's a hilarious one. You're watching a video of me right now, probably that you got, might have came through Facebook. Everybody nowadays, including like even older people that I know that were like Facebook boycotters, they spend like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day on YouTube and Facebook. Everybody has time. Everybody has time to do little things and make small incremental changes in their life. So that is just one of the biggest excuses ever. So the topic that we originally started with was why you should never tell anyone, including yourself, that you're on a diet. It opens the door not only for self-sabotage, but for other people to sabotage you. They may not even know that they're doing it, by the way. This is a lot of subconscious behaviors that people do to gain acceptance in the family unit and, make themselves feel loved, and they believe that that is how they express love. They're not doing anything wrong. They don't even know that they're doing it. And if you could record somebody during the day and then point it out to them without offending them, which would be hard to do, you'd probably see a lot of people go, oh, I didn't realize that was what I was doing, because they actually don't know that that's what they're doing. or they haven't educated themselves enough on dietary practices and nutrition to actually know, even if you gave them some technical explanation, why you didn't want to eat that one piece of cake with whatever meal it was that they had. And we'll get into all that too, why one piece of cake can be extremely detrimental to anybody's efforts to improve their body recomposition. So this is me signing off and saying thanks again to all those people that have been motivating me to do these videos, and a big shout out to my Blank Slate Body Recomposition crew that's growing slowly but organically. And with that being said, stay sweet and have a great day.